I'm Carl Anthony, Managing Editor of AutoVision News, and this is AutoSens Insights. We're pleased to welcome to the program today Gualtiero Bagnuoli, who is the Marketing Manager for the Optical Product Sensor line at Melexis. And Gualtiero, so good to see you again. Welcome back.
Good to see you, Carl.
So tell us a little bit, Gualtiero, about Melexis. Give us an overview of the company. Let's start there.
Well, Melexis is a global company, and we sell solutions to our customer in automotive, but not only to automotive, even to other markets. And we focus on sense and drive solution for applications which are safety critical or where availability of the functionality is critical in a kind of harsh environment, let's say. That's really our main focus. Well, Melexis, just to give you an idea, I think that in average we sell more than 1 billion IC in the market. And last year, we achieved a quite important milestone for my product line because end of last year, we reached the 1 million time-of-flight sensor shipped to the industry. So it was quite a big achievement.
That's an incredible achievement, Gualtiero. So first, congratulations on that. And to follow up with that, you actually have a newer time-of-flight sensor, the QVGA automotive sensor. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the new QVGA sensor is what I call the little brother of the VGA sensor we released 1 year ago. And this completes more or less our portfolio in order to be able to support customers with quite demanding requirement in terms of resolution and performance. And at the same time, being able to support customers looking for cost-effective solution or a bit more narrow scope, because with lower resolution, of course, you can do less, or at least you can cover less in the given scene. So it's about the field of view of the camera that you need to support.
Right. Now, I remember, Gualtiero, the last time we talked, it was in Detroit. We talked about the VGA sensor. So this is, again, very exciting news. You were part of the recent Brussels edition of AutoSens 2020. You gave a presentation about driver monitoring systems, but you're also part of this upcoming edition of AutoSens Detroit. So tell us a little bit about the subject of your presentation for AutoSens Detroit 2020.
Well, as you said, I mean, at AutoSens Brussels, the focus was more on what can you do with a QVGA sensor with a kind of focus on driver monitoring system. Now, this time we plan to cover a more generic in-cabin sensing application, exploring all the different options, what can be done, what cannot be done. And then together with an OEM, we are going to bring a real experience for a car maker, because what we do, it's of course something that we can do in a lab and we can have a case study, but at the end, the truth comes from the real experience with the real car in the real environment and with the challenges of the car maker, because everybody has its own challenges in this world.
Yes, all of the OEMs have different requirements, and so is that a challenge on your end, Gualtiero, to manage and to go through all of those requirements? How do you and your team go about keeping track of all of that?
Well, we use since a while to have a close interaction with OEMs, because it's the only way to get early information about forthcoming requirements. But at the same time, we have a very, very tight interaction with the tier one, because they need to get our support in order to be able to provide the state-of-the-art solution to OEM. But it's true that each OEM has its own brand identity, styles, strategy, and this can affect a lot the type of solution they need to put in place for their vehicle.
Sure. Well, one of the things, Gualtiero, I think our viewers want to know is, what are the key differences then between a driver monitoring system and then an onboard monitoring system. Are there differences there? And if they are, what are the differences?
Well, driver monitoring, as the word says, is the focus is on the driver, mainly on the driver. And the goal is really to keep track of what's going on, whether the driver is distracted or whether the driver is paying attention, if it's driving, if the hands are on wheel and things like that. And therefore, usually the camera has to be in front of the driver because ideally you would like to see the face, the eye gaze, and so on. While when we move to in-cabin onboard monitoring system, the goal is really to cover the interior of the car, ideally the front seat and the rear seat. Therefore, the camera has to be in a different position. It's usually necessary to have a much higher resolution because you need to capture different level of details, even in the far field, in the rear seat and so on. So, and usually the camera is rather be closer to the roof rather than somehow in front of the driver.
Sure.
To give you an idea, I mean, for driver monitor, you can do driver monitoring with the QVGA sensor. With the VGA sensor, you can do much more, but could be a bit over-engineered. If you want to cover the in-cabin, with the QVGA sensor, you can do that, but you can keep track of a big part of the body, the head, the arms, but for sure you cannot keep track of the hands and the finger if you want to support kind of augmented reality where the user is pointing to something outside the vehicle and things like that.
Sure. So Gualtiero, my next question then is, why is it important to cover more of the interior of the car with a camera? Why is it important to cover more of the body of the occupants, as you said? Why is it important to get more of a picture inside the car?
Well, it is relevant for different domains. It has to do with the user experience. So you can manage the interior lighting, or you can use the position of the hand or where the people is looking at for augmented reality and things like that. It has to do with safety because with time of flight, you can classify the passenger, know the position in the space in respect to the airbag, and have in place an optimal airbag deployment, let's say, strategy. And it has to do as well with other function like, as an example, intrusion detection. This is an interesting application. Or you can check whether you forgot something on the rear seat. And we know that sometimes it's not only a box or a pad which is left on the rear seat. So it could be even quite dramatic, let's say.
Of course. Now, Gualtiero, are there any concrete ongoing assessments of your technology right now for onboard monitoring systems?
Yes, and that will be exactly part of the speech that we will have together with an OEM. Because indeed, what we can do, we can study all the different use cases in a certain, let's say, lab environment. But then it's very important to check what can you really carry out in a real vehicle with the constraint you have in a vehicle, because the camera cannot be placed wherever you like. You need to find a place. Each vehicle has a different dimension, SUV with sports cars, you know, and things like that. And this time we would like to bring to the audience the experience of a car maker in order to give better guidance about what we think it's possible and where time of flight can bring real added value.
Of course. Now, Gualtiero, let's say that I'm watching this program and I'm interested in learning more and I would like to contact Melexis. What is the best way to contact you to learn more information about your time of flight sensors?
Well, first of all, from our website, all the information are available. But we have as well a YouTube channel where user can have a look to video and demos and to get an idea about how it works, the system. We have even a webinar about time of flight technology that can be used to get familiar with the technology itself.
And Gualtiero, you've provided us some excellent slides and already in this video, and it's always so wonderful to talk to you and get caught up with you. I've spoken to you, I've spoken to your colleagues before at AutoSens. Before we close today, is there anything you would like to add? Is there anything that we may have missed, or anything you would like to just say one more time before we close?
Well, I would say find the time to have a look to the speech, because as I said, it's not only from Melexis, but this time it will be a good opportunity to get an insight from OEM car maker perspective, which is quite unusual and in my view, quite valuable for people interested to deploy time-of-flight technology in a car.
Well, Gualtiero, all of us are looking forward to your presentation at AutoSens 2020, the Detroit edition. From all of us here at AutoSens, we want to wish you the best of luck going forward. Congratulations on all the recent announcements and the exciting milestones. And I'll look forward to seeing you again here at a future conference.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you. And well, I look forward to hopefully sooner or later to see you face to face, because it will be, again, a big pleasure.
We'll look forward to that. Until then, for more great content from AutoSens, check out the Hub or our YouTube channel. Just search AutoSens.